So before the workout montage starts, I want to talk about how I stopped being insecure and became more confident in myself, and how I basically overcame social anxiety, right? So basically, when I was like, I'd say like this was just a couple months ago. No, not a couple months ago, like maybe like 8 months ago. I used to be literally scared to talk to my friends, not to my friends, like to other people. And I used to like have to double think, triple think what I would like say to people, double, triple think like what I would text people. I would be like sitting in a group with some of my friends, friends, and somebody would make a joke and I would want to like add my 2 cents, and then I would just freeze up because I'd be like, oh, how is the group gonna judge me? How am I gonna be perceived? What if they don't like me anymore? And most of the time I just kept quiet, and I became like sort of like, a shadow person, where basically I was there, but I had no presence within the group itself. Like, for example, if I were to leave the group, nobody would notice. Well, they would notice, but they wouldn't care. Whereas somebody who's more integral to the group, if they were to leave, people would be like worried about him. They'd be asking why he left and all that stuff. And I also remember, like, wherever I was, I would always need to like go to a bathroom to like check how my hair looked. Do I look good? Is my face like chubby? Like, do my clothes fit me right? Stuff like that. And it was like taking like, I remember I'd be so stressed about it. Like, I'd go in the bathroom for like 20 minutes and like fix my hair to make it like perfect, and then go outside again. And that stuff just continued. I was just terrified of how other people would judge me, which is a lack of confidence and also like insecurity. So what I did to improve this was, first, just how I wasn't focused on what anybody else looked like or what anybody else was doing. Neither are the people who I think are like watching me. Second, I realized I am not that important. Like, I'm not a celebrity. People are not watching me 24/7, watching my every move, see if I mess up or something. Like, I would literally overthink stuff so much as if I was being recorded. So I just realized, yo, you're not that important, And the biggest tip that I can give you for this, and I just recently started implementing this, and I know it works pretty well, is, let's say, for example, this is what happens to me all the time. I would put on a shirt, right? And since I go to the gym, I would be worried that, oh, it doesn't fit me right, or oh, it doesn't show my muscles correctly. So I'd like take it off and then circle between shirts, see which one makes me look the best. Literally, if I wear a shirt and I'm like, oh, this one doesn't make me look good, I will purposely wear it just so I can like combat the fact that I was insecure. I feel like a lot of people always say stuff like, oh, don't worry about what other people think. But you should care to a certain extent, because you want to be socially aware. Like, you don't want to be perceived as the guy who's like socially inept and people don't want to hang out with you because they feel like hanging out with you is a waste of time, or you're like not fun to be around. So you want to be like socially aware, but you also want to remember not everybody is focused on you. So if you have a shirt on, and I know this is super specific, but this is something that I always felt like affected me so much, and I hated it, and I finally got over it. But if you have a shirt on and you're like, oh, the shirt doesn't make me look buff or makes my arms look small, just wear it. Because at the end of the day, nobody really notices that stuff. It's only you that notices it, and it's in your head. And I had to realize that after like months of just not realizing that. And I wish somebody would have told me this stuff. So you literally just want to embrace all your flaws. Like, for example, right? When I was in school, I would always try to make sure that I always looked, my best, presentable. But like, what was the point of that? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you want to look good, but to impress people that genuinely don't care about you. Now, if you're sitting there watching this and you're like, oh, well, I want to look good for like girls or a girl that likes me, just go talk to her, bro. Like, why are you sitting, like, thinking that, oh, because if I dress nicely, she'll like me? Like, the way you dress will not make a girl like you. The way you act and the way you carry yourself is how people, like, which will make a girl like you. And plus, honestly, you shouldn't even be focused on girls. Like, you should be more focused on what you can do to become the best version of yourself, and then everything will come to you. As you know, the more that you improve, the more everything in your life improves. So stop worrying about, oh, what if this person doesn't like me? What if the way I dress makes people not like me? Or what if the way I talk? Literally just say whatever you gotta say. Right now, I would say, maybe this is a downside, but in order for me to get rid of the fact that I used to have to think about what I would say 10 times over before I would say it in a group, now I just blurt anything that comes to mind. Like, I had to teach myself, like, the second I thought of something, bam, I would say it. And sometimes I'll say something like that's a little bit out of pocket or that's like kind of silly, but it doesn't matter, because as long as what I'm thinking gets heard, then it's better for me, because there's no point in me dwelling on thoughts if I can just say them. Same goes with life. You know, if you're thinking about asking out that girl, but you're scared that she'll reject you, well, if you never ask her out, then she already rejected you at that point. Like, you just need to stop caring about how others will perceive you and more care about how you perceive yourself. In my opinion, you need to lock in and focus on how to become the best version of yourself and not worry about other people. Now, enjoy the workout montage.
I run